I'm 55 years old, and after giving a man 30 years of my life, I find out he's been cheating on me. Not just cheating, he's been living a second life with a 35-year-old white woman who thinks she's better than me. But what they don't know is that I'm about to walk into their perfect little world and flip it upside down. This isn't just a story about betrayal, this is the moment a woman finally says enough. What happens when a loyal wife becomes the woman they never expected? My name is Gloria Turner, and I've been married to my husband, Marcus, for 30 long years. We built everything together, our home, our savings, our dreams. I worked double shifts in nursing while he built his small construction company. I cooked his meals, washed his clothes, prayed for him, believed in him. At 55, I thought I had it all figured out. I thought loyalty meant something. I thought marriage meant honor. But sometimes life doesn't break you in a single moment. It breaks slowly, day by day, through things you don't notice, late-night phone calls, sudden gym memberships, business trips that never used to happen. I didn't want to believe my gut. But my gut was right. What would you do if you discovered the man you loved was building a life without you? It started with a smell. Not perfume I owned. Not lotion I used. Something sweet, expensive, younger. Then came the credit card charges, restaurants we never visited, hotel bookings out of town, gifts I never received. One night, when Marcus came home late, he left his phone on the kitchen counter. It buzzed. A message preview, I miss you. Come back. My heart cracked, but I needed proof. I opened the phone. And I saw her. Her selfies. Her messages. Her calling him baby. Her begging him to leave me. A white woman. 35. Blonde hair. Perfect teeth. Gym body. A woman who looked at him the way I used to, before life and bills and children changed everything. But the most painful part? He told her he felt alive with her. Alive. As if I was a prison he needed escape from. How do you breathe after reading that the man you love feels alive in another woman's arms? I didn't scream. I didn't break dishes. I didn't even wake him up. I just sat in the living room, staring at the family photos on the wall, wondering how long he had been pretending. The next morning, I acted normal. Cooked breakfast. Packed his lunch. Kissed his cheek. Because I needed time. Time to plan. Time to think. Time to understand who this woman was, and why he chose her. I followed him one afternoon, quiet as a shadow. And there she was. Tall, young, glowing, laughing like life never touched her. She ran into his arms. My husband held her the way he used to hold me. My knees almost gave out. But instead, I stood still. Watching. Learning. Memorizing everything. Because I knew this wasn't just betrayal. This was war. What happens when a broken woman decides she'll never be broken again? It was 2 a.m. The house was silent, but the silence carried a storm. Maria, 55, an African-American woman with years of strength in her eyes, sat in the living room. Her hands trembled, not from weakness, but from a betrayal she never expected. The front door opened. David walked in, phone in hand, guilt on his face, and excuses ready on his tongue. Maria spoke softly, but her voice shook. David, overtime again? Or were you with her? David looked down for a second. 1 second was enough. The truth was already written on his face. I'm tired, Maria, you're misunderstanding. But Maria's eyes had already caught the truth he was trying to hide. The next morning, Maria's phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. You deserve to know the truth. Below it, a photo. David holding hands with Kelly, the 35-year-old white woman he was secretly seeing. Maria froze. Her breath faded for a moment. Then she whispered to herself. When love breaks, a person doesn't break, they transform. Maria called David to the dining table. Her calmness scared him more than her anger. David, she said, steady and strong. You didn't just betray me. You betrayed the woman who stood by you when no one else did. David's voice cracked. I made a mistake. I got confused, but this doesn't mean. Maria raised her hand to silence him. I gave you 20 years of loyalty. You treated it like routine. Her pain didn't scream. It spoke quietly, which hurt even more. The room fell silent. Maria made her decision. She wasn't going to live in the shadow of another woman. She wasn't going to fight for someone who didn't fight for her. She left the house and stayed with her sister for a few days. For the first time in years, she looked at herself instead of her marriage. She didn't see a broken woman. She saw a strong one, rising. And for the first time, David stood alone. Because when love walks away, it doesn't take weakness with it. It takes strength. While Maria stayed at her sister's house trying to breathe again, Kelly, the 35-year-old white woman David was seeing, felt victorious. In her mind, she had won. But victory tasted different when the truth started to leak. Because Kelly wasn't in love. She was in need. Money. Security. Status. And David was the easiest doorway to all three. But that morning, she made a mistake. She texted David. Now that she's out of the way, we can move faster with our plans. David froze. Plans? What plans? Later that evening, David met Kelly at a fancy restaurant. She wore a bright smile. Too bright, too polished, too rehearsed. David, she said, touching his hand. I think you should sell the house. Start fresh, with me. David stiffened. My house? I worked 20 years for that house. Kelly's eyes changed. They sharpened. Oh, come on. You don't need that old life. You don't need her. David swallowed hard. For the first time, he felt fear. Kelly continued. And, you still haven't given me the credit card limit increase. I've been waiting. Her voice wasn't loving. It was cold, calculating. David suddenly saw the truth. He wasn't loved. He was being used. A waiter approached. Miss Kelly, he said politely. We still need your payment from last week. Your card was declined. Kelly's face turned pale, then red. It's a mistake, she snapped. I said I'll pay later. The waiter left quietly. David leaned back, eyes wide. Kelly, what's going on? Kelly forced a smile. The kind of smile people use when they're hiding fire behind their teeth. David, don't make this complicated. But he already knew. Everything was complicated. Everything was wrong. Everything was a lie. When David dropped Kelly at her building, a woman from the second floor shouted. Kelly! Your landlord left another eviction notice. You better pay before the end of the month. Kelly froze. David stared. Eviction, he whispered. Kelly's mask shattered. David. I just need your help. That's all. But deep inside, David heard Maria's voice. You didn't just betray me. You betrayed the woman who stood by you when no one else did. And for the first time, David realized. He had traded gold for glass. David didn't sleep that night. He walked the house Maria had once cleaned, cooked in, laughed in. Every corner felt empty without her. He kept replaying Kelly's words. Now that she's gone, we can move faster. Gone? Maria wasn't gone. She was broken. And somehow, David was the one who broke her. While he sat in guilt, Kelly was awake too. Staring at her phone like a predator studying prey. She texted him again. Don't back out on me. You promised me a future. David didn't reply. Kelly's fingers tightened. Her lips trembled with anger. No man walks away from me, she whispered to herself. The obsession had started. The next morning, David opened. Kelly stood there. Red lipstick. Hair perfectly curled. A smile that didn't touch her eyes. Morning, babe. David stepped back. Kelly. I didn't ask you to come. You didn't have to. She pushed past him into the house. David's chest tightened. Kelly walked through the living room as if she owned it. We should redecorate, she announced. This old woman stuff has to go. Old woman. Maria. David finally snapped. Don't talk about her like that. Kelly froze. Her smile dropped. Oh? You're defending her now? David rubbed his forehead. I just need space. Kelly stepped closer, voice low. Don't make me the enemy, David. After everything I've done for you. David didn't speak. Because he realized something chilling. He hadn't done anything for Kelly. But Kelly believed he had. Later that night, David received a call from an unknown number. Mr. Johnson? The voice was warm. Professional. Yes? This is Detective Harris. We're calling about a woman named Kelly Reed. David's heart stopped. Is something wrong? The detective paused. She has 3 fraud charges in another state. Credit scams. Identity theft. We believe she may be targeting someone new. David felt cold. Ice cold. Why are you calling me? Because her last known location was your address. David swallowed hard. The truth was uglier than he imagined. Just as David hung up, headlights appeared in his driveway. Kelly. She got out of the car carrying a suitcase. I'm moving in, she declared. No, you're not, David said calmly. Kelly's smile was gone. Her eyes were sharp, wild, unpredictable. Oh, David, don't be stupid. You need me. I don't, he replied. Kelly stepped closer. You think you can go back to that old woman? After everything I can give you? David shook his head. What you give comes with chains. That's when Kelly's voice changed. Low, threatening, trembling. If you walk away from me, I will make sure you lose everything. David stood frozen as she whispered. And I know exactly where Maria works. Maria is cleaning tables in the quiet diner where she works nights. Her body is tired, but her heart hurts more. She hasn't spoken to David in days. She wipes a table, humming softly, trying to keep herself together. Then the doorbell rings. Maria turns. And freezes. Kelly stands at the entrance. Perfect hair. Perfect dress. The same cold, poisonous smile. Maria's chest tightens. You, she whispers. Kelly walks slowly toward her, heels clicking like a countdown. So this is where you hide? Kelly smirks. A tiny diner for a tiny woman. Maria stays calm. What do you want? Kelly leans in. I want you to understand. David is mine now. Maria steps back, trying not to cry. Kelly's smile widens. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. I'm not here to talk. She drops a small envelope on the counter and whispers. This is the beginning. Maria picks it up. Inside are printed photos of Kelly and David together. Laughing. Hugging. Hotel room selfies. Maria's fingers shake. Her throat burns. Kelly watches her pain like entertainment. See you soon, Kelly says and walks out. Maria stands there, broken again. David arrives home to find Kelly gone. Her suitcase is still on the couch, opened. Her things scattered everywhere. One drawer dumped out. His papers. His bills. His mail. But one thing is missing. Maria's address. David's face goes pale. She's going after her. He grabs his keys and runs out the door. David arrives just as Kelly exits the diner. Kelly, he shouts. She turns slowly. Well, look who finally came. What did you say to her? David growls. Kelly steps closer, tracing his chest with her finger. Just the truth. She needed to see what we have. David steps back. We don't have anything. Kelly's smile fades instantly. You're choosing her? She snaps. She's my wife, he says firmly. Kelly laughs. A sharp, bitter, mocking laugh. A wife you cheated on. A wife you lied to. A wife who doesn't want you anymore. David's jaw tightens. That's between me and Maria. Stay out of our lives. Kelly leans forward, whispering like venom. I never lose. Inside the diner, Maria stands behind the door. She heard everything. Every word. Her heart is torn. Between pain and hope. When David enters, she looks away. He steps toward her. Maria. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She takes a deep breath. David. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. David nods slowly. I understand. But she's dangerous. You need to stay away from her. Maria sighs. I can handle myself. David shakes his head. No. You don't know her. Maria whispers. I saw the photos. David closes his eyes. It meant nothing. Maria forces a sad smile. It meant everything to her. As they speak, Kelly sits in her car outside. Watching them through the diner window. Her hand tightens on the steering wheel. Her eyes are furious. No one embarrasses me, she mutters. She pulls out her phone and opens a contact list. She scrolls. Stops on a name. Edward, private investigator. Her lips curl into a chilling smile. Time to destroy them both. Kelly sits in her dark apartment, phone in hand, plotting. She hires a private investigator, Edward, to dig into Maria's past. Edward reports back the next morning. Miss Kelly, I found some details about her job, her family, minor things that could ruin her reputation if exposed. Kelly smirks. Perfect. Start immediately. I want her humiliated, fearful, out of the picture. She leans back in her chair, confident. This time, she won't rise again. Maria notices strange things at work, emails she didn't send, calls she never made, people staring oddly. She frowns. Something is wrong. She calls David. David. I think she's trying to ruin me. David's expression darkens. I told you she's dangerous. You need to trust me now. Let me handle this. Maria hesitates, but nods silently. She's learned the hard way, Kelly will not stop. David contacts the PI directly. Stop everything immediately, he orders firmly. Edward hesitates, Kelly is powerful and persuasive. I don't care. She doesn't get to touch Maria. Do you understand? Edward nods. David's determination is clear. He will protect Maria, no matter what. That night, Kelly drives past Maria's home repeatedly. She watches the lights, the cars, the silhouette of Maria moving inside. She whispers to herself. She thinks she's safe. But nobody escapes me. Her obsession has grown toxic, dangerous. Maria sits in her living room, breathing deeply. She remembers all the years she endured, betrayal, humiliation, pain. I survived him cheating, she whispers. I survived life without respect. I will survive her too. She decides to fight back, not with violence, but with courage, intelligence, and dignity. She contacts friends, colleagues, and even law enforcement for advice. She's no longer vulnerable. She is prepared. Kelly shows up at the diner again, thinking she can intimidate Maria. Maria steps forward calmly. You won't touch my life anymore, she says firmly. Kelly smirks, underestimates her. Maria pulls out proof of Kelly's lies, fraud attempts, and threatening messages. David arrives just in time to support her. Kelly's confidence begins to crumble. The PI, now working with David, exposes Kelly's manipulations. Her lies, threats, and fraud are all documented. Kelly is shocked. "You can't do this." Maria looks at her quietly. "I survived him, I survived you, and now you will face the truth." Kelly realizes she has lost. Not because of revenge, but because Maria finally embraced her own power. Maria walks outside the diner with David. No hatred, no revenge, just strength and dignity. She smiles, feeling the weight lift off her shoulders. "Some people think they can break you," she says quietly. "But strength comes from surviving, not from hurting others." David holds her hand. Not as a husband, but as someone who finally respects her power. Maria looks into the camera, narrating. "Life will betray you. People will cheat, lie, and try to destroy you. But never forget this: strength is yours. Power is yours. And your story is yours to tell." Who do you become when the people you trust betray you, and how do you rise stronger than ever?